off a bit now. The dynamic of the fight in the first couple of rounds was that she was the one on the front foot. She was the one doing the stalking, but HUTARINA's taking the centre of the ring in the last couple of minutes of round 3. ALTANBYEK looks like she might be just gassing a little bit. HUTARINA, I think, could maybe have stepped on her a bit more in this final minute. Good left hand there from the Ukrainian. I think if she'd really ramped up the pressure a bit towards the end of the Ukrainian there, she could have really put a stamp on that final round. There's that straight right hand, long right hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring being about 135, win on points by split decision from the blue corner, Khulan.
ALTANBYEK gets it via a split decision. One card has gone against her there. One card has gone against her by 3 rounds to 0, I think, as it flashed up at the bottom of the screen. We'll get confirmation of that in just a second. Emerson Pastor going 3-0 ALTANBYEK. Sergei Krutasov 3-0. Pastor, I beg your pardon, 3-0 HUTARINA. Krutasov 3-0 ALTANBYEK, and the other 3 were 29 points to 28. It was tight. There was not much to pick in any of those 3 rounds, to be honest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so it's ALTANBYEK who goes through to meet Gulnar TURAPBAY of Kazakhstan in the quarterfinal. 17 fighters in the flyweight division for the women.
51kg women's, please into the red corner. From Jordan, NASSAR
NASSAR of Jordan making her way to the red corner. National youth champion a couple of times.
And now please to the blue corner from Pihla. Pihla.
And this is the fighter we saw backstage having a quick spar with the mascot, Pihla KAIVO-OJA of Finland.
Mongolia, Sri Lanka, Poland, Uzbekistan, Ireland, and the referee from Azerbaijan, Mr. Emil Gurbanaliyev.
"18 years old, NASSAR, as is her opponent in the blue, KAIVO-OJA. Youth national champion, boxed in the Euros, Youth Euros in 2019. Got to the round of 16. Emil Gurbanaliev of Azerbaijan in charge of this one. So this is our second fight of the session in the women's flyweight division, 51 kilos, and this replacing the quarterfinals.
Round one.
So NASSAR Jordan in the red, KAIVO-OJA of Finland in the blue, and we've got a couple of southpaws here, both of them boxing out of that stance. KAIVO-OJA's got the height advantage. Generally speaking, a reach advantage comes with that. Not always, though. You do find a lot of fighters with unusually long arms. It's something that sees them suited to boxing in the first place. So it's no coincidence that that happens. So if you've got an inch or two on your opponent, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have the reach advantage. KAIVO-OJA looks a kind of technically well-schooled fighter, looking to try and use that jab. Referee just having a word with KAIVO-OJA there about delivering punches with the inside of the glove, not with the knuckle part of the glove. AIBA boxing, you land a scoring blow, a blow that the judges will take into account by using the knuckle part of the glove, and it has to hit the target area, which is the torso, and she did exactly that with that jab there, KAIVO-OJA. Needs to land on the torso or the front of the head. That wide left hand, that wide swinging left hand, that would have been the one that he was warning her about, the referee, but she throws that quite wide. Nice right hand from KAIVO-OJA. Good one too as well. As NASSAR was coming forward, there was no real weight on it, but both punches landed. They were easy to see as well. That's one of the advantages of boxing on the outside, is that punches delivered from there, like that jab there, are easy to see for the judges at ringside. It sounds like a quite basic point to make, but it can matter, because judging fights is all about working out who has landed more. And if one fighter's punches are easy to see landing, then all the better for them. She's in control of this, KAIVO-OJA. NASSAR's quite basic in her approach, as you can see there. She kind of ran forward behind the jab. KAIVO-OJA with the 1-2. And the jab again. She could pick her off on the way in here quite comfortably. She's got enough skill to be able to do that, the Finnish fighter wearing blue. NASSAR is putting plenty into this, but she's a bit limited. And again there, she falls in behind that left hand, the weight completely over the top of the front foot, and that just means that there's only one thing that can happen there. When she throws it, she's going to keep moving forward. That's where her weight's taking her. She can't possibly stop herself. And if KAIVO-OJA sees that coming, she just needs to take half a step back or a step off to the side even, and she'll be able to catch her coming forward. There won't really be anything that the NASSAR can do about it. 10-9s across the board for KAIVO-OJA. One of the easier rounds to score that these team of judges will have.
Seconds out, please.
Nice 1-2 there from KAIVO-OJA, and she can win the fight just throwing that. She is winning the fight throwing that. And I think she could probably look to be a little bit more aggressive with it. Put a bit more snap on it. There's a decent 1-2 again, and exactly as I was saying at the end of the round, NASSAR is looking to come forward. She fancies it, but she just doesn't have the technique to go with her spirit, if you like. And really, KAIVO-OJA just has to wait for her to do that. Wait for her to launch herself. Keep her composure. And as I said, maybe just a little half step back, give herself the room to punch and land on it as she's coming forward. There's that nice 1-2. May as well just keep snapping that out. Oof. That was a heavy landing over on the far side of the ring. Nothing deliberate about it. Tangle of feet, and KAIVO-OJA took NASSAR down there. You could hear the thud as they both landed. Couple of good jabs there from KAIVO-OJA. And you can see when she's about to step in with real intent there, NASSAR, because you look at her front foot, she actually picks that front foot up and steps in. She just did it there. So what she's doing is completely telegraphed, really. You know what's coming. You see that knee move, you see that foot picked up, and there's going to be the left hand followed mainly by that lead right hand followed by the left. Minute to go in round 2. And NASSAR just goes for a little bit of a walk. 1-2 again, just catches her on the way in. She could get the stoppage here, KAIVO-OJA, I think, if she just put her foot down and started to let her hands go a little bit more. I don't think the referee will take too much encouraging to step in for a standing count before long. Nice 1-2 again there. And she's just getting pinged here. NASSAR, every time she comes forward. KAIVO-OJA knows exactly what's coming. There's that 1-2 again, and again, and again. 3-4 times in a row there. She's very, very game, NASSAR. You have to give her credit for that. And she's desperately trying to land that left hand, but she can't get inside the 1-2 of KAIVO-OJA. She's had 32 bouts. KAIVO-OJA began boxing in 2016, so a 10-8 in there from Mattia, and I can completely understand that. A bit surprised, actually, there aren't more 10-8s in those scorecards, because that was dominant. What AIBA judges are looking to do, I've been saying this the last few days, and I will repeat it every now and again because it's important, they're looking to interpret dominance when they're giving their scores. So if you've got a dominant round like she had there, KAIVO-OJA, you would score that 10-8. If you win the round, but it's a kind of regulation round win if you want, then that'll be 10-9. They can give 10-7s and 10-6s. 10-7s has got to be, that's got to be a very dominant display. 10-6, I mean, you never see a 10-6. If somebody's won around 10-6, then really the referee should have stopped it. You shouldn't ever really see a 10-6 by that rationale, if you get my meaning. If somebody's dominated to that extent, then the fight should have been stopped. And as I say, that's why you don't see them, because the referees know what they're about, and they just wouldn't let a contest like that continue. Good left hand again there from KAIVO-OJA. Standing counts, knockdowns as well are just part of the overall picture for AIBA judges. They don't necessitate the loss of a point by the fighter who's on the receiving end of them. So it's not like professional boxing like that. In the pro boxing ring, if you get knocked down, then you'll almost certainly lose that round 10-8, almost regardless of what happens in the rest of the round. It's one of the kind of problems with professional boxing scoring, in my view. A flash knockdown, and you're probably going to lose around 10-8. You could then completely dominate the next round and only win it 10-9. And still she comes forward here, NASSAR. Right hand there from KAIVO-OJA. Just sticks that jab hand in NASSAR's face, looks for the 1-2. Well, she's saying, KAIVO-OJA, that NASSAR bit her. She's got a little mark on the shoulder there. You could see a little bit of a mark on the shoulder, and the referee, I don't know if he took a point there or not. I couldn't quite see. But I don't think he saw it. KAIVO-OJA stopped and pointed it out to him, pointed the blemish out to him, saying that NASSAR had bitten her. If the referee saw it, then he would have to disqualify her, I'd have thought. But you can't really just take a fighter's word for it. And she's right above me now, KAIVO-OJA, and I can see the blemish on the shoulder. It's difficult to know exactly how that would have happened, but having said that, the kind of feeling you would get from a set of teeth clamping down on your shoulder, I think you would probably know what it was. But anyway, maybe we'll find out in due course. But it's not going to have any effect on the rest of this fight because KAIVO-OJA is completely in charge of this. I cannot believe that NASSAR has deliberately bitten KAIVO-OJA. I think her mouth was probably hanging open as she came forward, landed on the shoulder, and that was what would have happened there, because the way she's gone about this fight is just, I would be utterly astonished if she turned out to be the kind of fighter who would deliberately bite someone. I just can't see it. And again, she just keeps coming forward here. Good jab there from KAIVO-OJA. It does seem a bit riled up, actually, in the last minute. But NASSAR just keeps coming forward. As I said, there's nothing wrong with her will to win. There's nothing wrong with her desire, but she's just got to try and learn some technique. Because without wishing to be too cruel, she doesn't really have any. And that's why she gets hit so much. And against a bigger puncher, that would be a huge, huge problem. Bell goes at the end of the fight. And it's going to be a comprehensive win for Pihla KAIVO-OJA. And that's the story of it. That jab hand, that 1-2, just landing on her again and again and again and again.
Ladies and gentlemen, win by all points with unanimous decision from the blue corner, Pihla KAIVO-OJA, Finland.
So KAIVO-OJA goes through. Unanimous decision, some 10-8s in there. And a point was taken by the referee for what KAIVO-OJA claimed was a bite. So that was a curious incident in the final round. 10-8s from Sri Lanka and Poland there. So a comprehensive win, as comprehensive as I've seen actually in the women's section over the course of the last few days in Ring B. And KAIVO-OJA will fight the winner of our next fight, which sees Salma LAGHLALI of Morocco up against Valeriia LINKOVA of Russia. LINKOVA's got some credentials, a former European junior champion. Picked up a silver in that same competition a year later as well. two-time Russian junior champion, 2021 Russian youth champion. So that is a good resume. LAGHLALI, two-time Moroccan youth national champion herself.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the bout number 137 in the ring B. 51 kilograms women, please into the red corner from Morocco, Salma LAGHLALI.
LAGHLALI of Morocco making her way to the red corner. And after this fight, the bottom half of the quarter-final lineup in the women's flyweight division will be complete, as will the top half. That's been going on over in ring A at the same time as this.
Blue corner from Russia, Valeriia, LINKOVA.
And here's LINKOVA.
And the judges of this bout, Latvia, Jordan, Bulgaria, Korea, Armenia, and the referee from Ireland, Sadi.
Sadie Duffy in charge of this one. So we've got LAGHLALI of Morocco in the red, Valeriia LINKOVA of Russia in the blue, and LINKOVA, as I said, has got some hardware in that trophy cabinet. A gold medal, a silver medal in European juniors, national titles. LAGHLALI's a national champion herself as well, though. LINKOVA with those hands down low by her waist is looking aggressive here. LAGHLALI's trying to keep low, but she's getting picked off here. This is a very quick, good start from LINKOVA. Interesting style she's got. Fighting against the shorter fighter, those hands being low is working for her because LAGHLALI isn't as tall, and she also dips quite low as she comes in. So firing those shots from the waist means the trajectory is quite easy. She just needs to shoot them up a little bit. Whereas if you had that tight high guard, she'd be punching down, which can be quite tricky. Sticks that jab again, standing just on the borderline there, LINKOVA. She's slightly out of range there for LAGHLALI, and she knows it because LAGHLALI is lacking that kind of reach that she's got. And the Moroccan is just trying to inch forward, and then when she commits, LINKOVA just takes half a step back and counters her with the right hand. This is going to be a tough job for LAGHLALI. You can see that already. And again, as she comes forward, she gets caught by left hand. She's got to try and move her head, the Moroccan fighter in red. Use some lateral movement on the way, and she's coming straight in there, just inching in. You can see just walking straight in a completely straight line. And LINKOVA, well, that's meat and drink. She'll find that easy. There's the jab, and then just hooks moving off to her right-hand side. There's the jab again and again, and she'll hit her with that all day. Left hand steps off to the left, throws another left. Into the final minute of round one. Again, just exiting to the right after throwing that right hook. 1-2, catches LAGHLALI again, and there's just not all that much the Moroccan can do about this at the minute. She's trying to keep that guard high, but it's not really all that tight. Feet come forward, but LINKOVA's movement is too good to be caught by that. She did kind of turn her back there, LINKOVA, as she was kind of fleeing the scene away to her left, but in that exchange, LAGHLALI maybe got one through, LINKOVA got 4 or 5 through. That's a lovely left hand, just moving off to the left-hand side, and LAGHLALI, as always, waits forward. She can't really stop herself when she commits. And just a step off to the side there from LINKOVA, times the left hand. She's a level above. A couple of 10-8s, and the rest 10-9s there for Valeriia LINKOVA. And you just see the gloves just bouncing off that red head guard.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
For the uppercut a couple of times in the second round so far. Not something we really saw her throw, LINKOVA, in round 1. The uppercut, it's definitely there because LAGHLALI dips that head as she comes forward, and as I've been saying, as she commits, the weight is forward. And there's no real way for her to get it back. So if she times that uppercut right, LINKOVA, then that could do some damage. The jab is working perfectly nicely, though. Switches fairly seamlessly at times between orthodox and southpaw. Just flicking that jab every now and again, LINKOVA. Really, she's waiting for LAGHLALI to come in on it, which she knows she will do at some point. Long right hand. And again, lovely 1-2. And our referee steps in with a standing count as the head just snaps back there. I feel for LAGHLALI a bit here because there's just not anything she can do about this. She's up against someone here who has got all the tools just to pick her apart, and that's exactly what she's doing. And for LINKOVA, quite honestly, this is easy. This is like a sparring session. Switches southpaw, throws the 1-2. Lands it out of that stance as well. Just trying to feint with that front foot there, LINKOVA, just seeing if she can tempt LAGHLALI to come in. But the problem LAGHLALI's got now is that when she does come in, she gets hit. And when she's standing at range, she gets hit. So it's difficult for her to know really what to do. To the point where she's now not really doing anything, and I can understand why, because every time she opens up, she finds herself on the receiving end. So she's reluctant to do it, but then there's another standing count. If she doesn't do anything, then LINKOVA will take that invitation, step into that space and let her hands go, really with impunity. Bell goes at the end of the round. This was back in the old days when we had computer scoring and the outclassed rule, which meant that the fight was over if one fighter went 20 points ahead, this would be over by now. 10-8 across the board there. And you cannot argue with that.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So third and final round here, Valeriia LINKOVA of Russia in the blue. She has completely dominated this contest so far. Salma LAGHLALI of Morocco has worked hard. She's tried everything that she can. She's just been outclassed here by LINKOVA, and there's no real shame in that because the Russian has got some serious credentials. A former European junior champion, a national youth and junior champion. And that Russian team, as we know, is a very difficult one to get on. One of the real powerhouses of AIBA boxing. So this will be a painful learning process for LAGHLALI. She's never really looked hurt, though. She's never really looked discouraged either, apart from towards the end of that second round where she didn't really want to throw anything. This time she's looking a bit more aggressive again in round 3. It's the hair, I think, sticking out the top of the head guard, which the referee is just asking them to attend to. There's that jab. Right hand, long right hand. It's just been target practice really for LINKOVA. LAGHLALI looks kind of compact and organised, the way she just creeps in, shuffles forward with that front foot. She's generally got that guard up, but she doesn't move ahead at all really. And LINKOVA's found it easy to pierce that guard. She span around there, LAGHLALI, and as soon as she turned back round again, LINKOVA was straight on it. And LINKOVA will be up against KAIVO-OJA, who we saw in the previous fight, and they're two very similar fighters physically. Tall, have got the reach, have got the range.
Coach, hair, please.
Well, the hair just keeps coming out the top of the head guard there. I don't think it's really obscuring her vision. I mean, it looks untidy, but I don't think it's really having any effect on her. Final 30 seconds. After this, we head into the men's light heavyweight division. Nice left hand there from LINKOVA, just skirting away to her left, threw it on the move. Bell goes at the end of the round, and that is a win, a comprehensive win for Valeriia LINKOVA of Russia in the blue.
and gentlemen, about 137 win by points with the unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Valeriia, Russia.
LINKOVA gets the win, and those are wide margins. I said that KAIVO-OJA in that previous fight had won by as clear a margin as I'd seen anybody. I think that is the clearest margin I've seen certainly any female fighter win by. No point deductions in there either, so you've got 3 10-8s there from Leonid Hanovic, 1 10-8 from Yunus Nabil, 2 from Maria Klava-Kleva, 1 from Kim Jong-in, and 3 from our judge at the bottom there, Bakyt Bagarassian. And she looks a really good fighter, LINKOVA. It'll be interesting to see what happens when she's set more of a test. And I don't mean to be too unkind to LAGHLALI there, but she was absolutely made for LINKOVA because she just shuffled in, didn't really move her head, and with the height and reach advantage that LINKOVA's got on her, she could just hold that distance and pick her off. And as I said at one point, it was a bit like target practice. It was like sparring, and not particularly competitive sparring.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 138 in the ring, be please into the red corner from Italy, Domenico Vinciguerra.
Into the red corner in the men's light heavyweight division, representing Italy, we've got Domenico Vinciguerra, 81 kilos. That's the weight limit for light heavyweight.
And please in the blue corner from Azerbaijan, Murad ALLAHVERDIYEV.
And for Azerbaijan, heading for the blue corner, Murad ALLAHVERDIYEV, who comes with a reputation. He's a fighter who is fancied to do something in this light heavyweight division. There's a lot of good fighters in this division.
Guatemala, Mongolia, Russia, Slovakia, Uzbekistan, and the referee from Israel, Mr. Artur Kurginian.
So Vinciguerra in the red, ALLAHVERDIYEV in the blue.
Round 1.
So into the opening round here. This is the men's light heavyweight division. In the red there, Domenico Vinciguerra of Italy. In the blue, Murad ALLAHVERDIYEV of Azerbaijan. Nice right hand to the body there from ALLAHVERDIYEV. A decent body attack again there, trying to put his punches together early on. The Azeri. Vinciguerra trying to keep that head on the move. As he got into range, ALLAHVERDIYEV just dipping to his left, looking for the left to the body. Vinciguerra looking to come forward. That's a cracking left hand there from ALLAHVERDIYEV, and then followed it up with a jab. Right hand there, though, from the Italian. That was the first really good shot that he's landed. He's the fighter on the front foot here. He's the one looking to try and walk ALLAHVERDIYEV down. ALLAHVERDIYEV, though, looks happy enough with that. Setting his feet and really letting those hands go. That's some good work on the inside there, though, from VINCIGUERRA. That was nice. Found the body and then went up top. Halfway through round one, and this is an interesting fight, this, because the first minute was definitely ALLAHVERDIYEV's, but there's already signs in the second half of this first round that VINCIGUERRA is beginning to get to him. But ALLAHVERDIYEV has put a lot into that opening 90 seconds, has been made to work very, very hard, and again he sets his feet and lets his hands go there. And a couple of those did get through, but the left hand gets through there from VINCIGUERRA. And the pressure that he's applying to ALLAHVERDIYEV here, I think is definitely taking its toll a bit. A couple of jabs there from ALLAHVERDIYEV, but not much on them. He's forced back to the ropes, then throwing single shots really just to try and keep VINCIGUERRA off him. It doesn't work though. VINCIGUERRA steps to him and is just beginning to throw him around the ring a bit. Good right hand there from the Italian. Good tight guard. And he's just waiting for a chance to really step on ALLAHVERDIYEV again. ALLAHVERDIYEV throwing punches off the back foot. There's a little bit of an air of, not desperation exactly, because this has been a pretty close round. The bell goes in the other ring, and that causes confusion sometimes. Nice right to the pit of the stomach, and again there from VINCIGUERRA. He's finishing the round strongly here. A round of two halves, if you like. Be interesting to see which way it goes, because he's set himself and thrown a lot of shots there, ALLAHVERDIYEV, but in terms of the dynamic of the fight overall, I would say that opening round bodes quite well for him. The fighter we see on his feet there, he did take some in that round. He may have lost that round, but he did plenty of work himself. So the judges do favour ALLAHVERDIYEV in that opening round. 10 nines for 4 out of 5, but VINCIGUERRA did some good work. Very important to get ahead on the cards after round one, so that's a big tick in the margin there for ALLAHVERDIYEV, but I'm sure you'll see what I mean, what I was talking about during that opening round. VINCIGUERRA came into it more and more as the round went on, and if he can keep applying that kind of heat, I think ALLAHVERDIYEV is going to find it quite hard to handle. He's going to have to really dig in. But VINCIGUERRA has to win this second round now. He has to. Good fight to watch, though.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
So into the second, and VINCIGUERRA quickly to the centre of the ring. Right hand to the body. ALLAHVERDIYEV, again, just sets those feet, lets those hands go. It's nice off the back foot from ALLAHVERDIYEV, just jabbing on the retreat, but he's giving ground all the time. He's got nice sharp hands. And VINCIGUERRA's got to be intelligent about the way he comes forward, or he will get picked off. That's a good left hand there from ALLAHVERDIYEV. Nice left hook too. This is good boxing from the Azeri. As I said, he is kind of on the retreat here, and I think he is looking to try and conserve energy a bit. Single shot there with the right hand. He's not throwing those big expansive combinations that we saw in round one, and I think this is much more the way to go about things for him. VINCIGUERRA is finding it difficult to get into range. Good right hand there from ALLAHVERDIYEV, but on the inside there, VINCIGUERRA has some success himself for the first time in a round, really. Left hook comes in. They trade right hands. And this is where he needs him, the Italian, really. Did some good work on the inside there, a couple of uppercuts. Sticks the jab into the face of ALLAHVERDIYEV, and this is not where ALLAHVERDIYEV wants to be. Again, just ditching in that right hand, trying to keep VINCIGUERRA off him, but he's, as he did in the first round, he's done plenty of good work in the first half of the round here, ALLAHVERDIYEV. Can VINCIGUERRA catch him up? That's the question. VINCIGUERRA just working to the body there, just ramming that right hand into his stomach. VINCIGUERRA, again, rolls forward, right hand from him. ALLAHVERDIYEV is back to the ropes there, just doing whatever he can, throwing those hands just to try and keep his opponent off. Leans in, tries to get a hold. Wants to be careful with that. The referees are very hot on holding. Good uppercut on the inside from VINCIGUERRA, who looks for the right hand. ALLAHVERDIYEV, though, with a good chopping down right of his own. Great right hand there from ALLAHVERDIYEV. Pulled that one out of the bag, and that could be important. And VINCIGUERRA in this second round, like in the first, I don't think it's done quite enough. ALLAHVERDIYEV is really, really digging in here. A couple of big right hands there. It was similar to the first round in that he dominated the first half. VINCIGUERRA looked like he was coming back into it, like he was coming up on the rail, but then ALLAHVERDIYEV, last 20, 25 seconds there, has found 2 or 3 big, good-looking shots, which I think could have done the business for him there in terms of taking that round. We'll see. Split. 3 of the judges go with ALLAHVERDIYEV, so 20 points to 18 on 3 cards, 20 points to 18 in favour of VINCIGUERRA from the top card, and the other one is level. So he's got clear water there, ALLAHVERDIYEV. Really good fight to watch. As I said, the dynamic's been quite simple in a way. ALLAHVERDIYEV has started quick in both rounds, built up a lead in both rounds. VINCIGUERRA's come back on him and closed that gap, but in the first round, I think he just had too much to make up in that. Second round, it was the final 20 seconds when ALLAHVERDIYEV just took it back away from him again. Gum shields come out. It's a hard fight, this. Really is. And these two, even though it's right at the start of the round, will be glad of any extra rest that they can get. ALLAHVERDIYEV just wandering back into the neutral corner right above me. He looks fairly exhausted, to be honest, and VINCIGUERRA's straight on him again. He knows that's going to happen. There's nowhere to hide. He's never looked for anywhere to hide, but there is nowhere. Right hand there from VINCIGUERRA. Tight guard, trying to move that head and swagger his way onto the inside. And trading shots on the inside there. Big, big punches. VINCIGUERRA and ALLAHVERDIYEV both landing. Just gritting his teeth there, the Azerbaijan fighter, and letting that right hand go. VINCIGUERRA again, though, just walks across the ring, looking for that right to the body. ALLAHVERDIYEV just leaning in, doesn't quite get hold of his opponent. Slings a right hand in from the waist. There wasn't a great deal on that one. He's almost out on his feet here, ALLAHVERDIYEV, I think. VINCIGUERRA has really got to give it to him this final 2 minutes, but every time ALLAHVERDIYEV looks like he might be on the verge of not exactly folding, but running out of gas. He just finds something. Right to the body there was a good shot, but that's a good combination from VINCIGUERRA. He's got to follow this up. Left hand on the inside from the Italian, left to the body. Strong left upstairs from VINCIGUERRA again. ALLAHVERDIYEV once more. I've got a great view of him across the ring, gritting those teeth. Right cross comes in from VINCIGUERRA, and they're just going at it on the inside here. Another right hand from VINCIGUERRA, and goes to the body. He's just trying to work ALLAHVERDIYEV over here. ALLAHVERDIYEV is showing a granite chin. Uppercut misses by a fraction there from VINCIGUERRA. Shoots with the right hand there. Right-left combination there from VINCIGUERRA, and ALLAHVERDIYEV, he almost looks ready to go here at times. He really does. He's just having to hang in there. Still 50 seconds to go, which is a long time. If he can pour it on in the final few seconds here, VINCIGUERRA, and win it real big these last 30, 40 seconds, 10-8 are not out of the question here, but ALLAHVERDIYEV has done enough in this round to make that unlikely, you would say. VINCIGUERRA with the right hand. What a terrific fight this has been. Right hand there from ALLAHVERDIYEV. VINCIGUERRA just shaking that head. Sweat spraying. Again, just pumps right hand, left hand. Again, ALLAHVERDIYEV just kind of half slumps over, falls into him, lists into the ropes. 15 seconds remaining. And there's a combination from ALLAHVERDIYEV. He looks absolutely done in, and he just took his weight back. Pop, pop, left hand, right hand. Great boxing. And there goes the bell, and that's a fantastic fight. Fantastic fight. Vinciguerra of Italy in the red is going to come out on the losing side of this one, I think. Murad ALLAHVERDIYEV of Azerbaijan was made to work so hard. Every second of that, Vinciguerra really brings it. Some decent educated pressure, and ALLAHVERDIYEV, well, I think he was taken to a place in that fight that I doubt he's been before, to be honest with you. He came with a reputation, and he's had to really prove his minerals in that fight. And this is right at the end there, just when you think he's done, little sway back. Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 138 in the ring B, win by points with split decision. From the blue corner, Murad ALLAHVERDIYEV, Azerbaijan.
ALLAHVERDIYEV gets it. He was 2 points up on 2 cards going into that final round. 2 points up on 3 cards, I think it might have been, actually. Let's have a look at those final round scores. That was a Vinciguerra round, that final round, I thought. And 4 out of the 5 judges agree with that, so he's got it 29-28 with 4. Emerson Pastor has gone 3-0 in favour of Vinciguerra. They were close rounds, all 3 of them. They were close rounds. That was an absolutely marvellous fight. Looking forward to seeing ALLAHVERDIYEV again. Vinciguerra is just a bit unlucky that that's the draw he got in the first preliminary round. No seeding in the World Youth Championships. Anybody can meet anybody at any point, which makes it a real traditional straight knockout. So much work rate, so much desire, and some real quality from those 2 as well.
In the ring B, 81 kilograms, please into the red corner from Turkmenistan, Bakyt, TOKTOSUN, UULU.
So from Kyrgyzstan, wending his way to the red corner is Bakyt, TOKTOSUN, UULU. This is another one in the light heavyweight division.
And please to the blue corner from Montenegro, Petar, LIJESEVIC.
And representing Montenegro, Petar LIJESEVIC, the 2020 European Youth Champion, his country's first fighter to win that honour.
And the judges of this bout, Sri Lanka, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Russia, and Bulgaria, and the referee from Korea, Kim Yong-in. Round 1.
So into the first round. UULU of Kyrgyzstan in the red, LIJESEVIC of Montenegro in the blue. UULU boxing out of the southpaw stance. Landed a left hand there. UULU, quite wide, he threw it, but it got to the target. Right to the body there from LIJESEVIC. In the early stages here, TOKTOSUN UULU has just been a little bit too sharp for LIJESEVIC. He's found a couple of uppercuts on the inside. Right hand to the head there from LIJESEVIC. Right hand comes back from UULU. LIJESEVIC, for the most part, holding the centre of the ring here. Looking to try and dictate terms. Right hand to the body from LIJESEVIC. Midway through round one. Nice short little jab there from UULU. Good straight right hand there from LIJESEVIC, but knocked off balance as he tried to throw another one by a good jab from UULU. Looking for that uppercut on the inside. He's thrown that a few times, UULU. Doesn't throw it straight up, it kind of comes in from an angle. Long right hand there was let go by LIJESEVIC after the referee had called to break, only fractionally. But he looks for that uppercut on the inside. He kind of dips to his left hand side a little bit and then just looks to kind of rake it up at an angle. Dipping low at the waist there. UULU, and the referee saying that LIJESEVIC was pushing him down and basically was responsible for him ending up in that position. I'm not sure about that. Straight left hand there from UULU. Good tempo to that opening round, very competitive round. LIJESEVIC, as I said, on the front foot. He was the one trying to dictate terms in there as much as he could, leading off for the most part. UULU generally was looking to try and counter, and LIJESEVIC gets it 10-9 with all of the judges. It was a tight round. There wasn't a great deal to choose between them. LIJESEVIC definitely threw more. UULU thought landed some good quality shots, such as that. Maybe a bit unlucky not to get anything with the judges there.
Seconds out, please. Round two.
Left to the pit of the stomach again there from UULU. He will know that he's behind, or rather his coaches will know that he's behind. Whether they communicate that to him directly or not, they'll certainly have told him that there's some urgency about this second round. He's got to go out and win this second round. But you don't want to get too reckless or too ragged or desert your own most effective technique. Good left hand there from UULU. You do see that with fighters sometimes. They drop the first round, maybe, well, quite often actually, where maybe they think they could have got it, and then in the second round, rather than sticking to what they felt worked for them in the first round but didn't gain them any reward, they then go a bit too gung-ho and fight their opponent's fight. UULU's not doing that here. He's sticking to his previous method, which is using the outside of the ring and looking to counter LIJESEVIC as he comes in. LIJESEVIC making a big show to the referee there that he's the one trying to remove himself from the clinch. And he needs to be careful there, UULU, because he was holding on a bit. And referees will take points. You've had plenty of points taken in Ring B over the last few days. Good left hand from LIJESEVIC as he came forward. UULU landed a left to the body. It's the final minute of round 2. Very similar to the opening round, this second round. LIJESEVIC, I think he's beginning to get on top of UULU a bit more, though, in this second session. Physically, he's the bigger of the... The referee had said break there, and LIJESEVIC gave UULU a little tap in the face. UULU gave him one back. And he's having a point taken for holding. And I did say about a minute ago that was a real problem for him. And I think that the pace that LIJESEVIC has set, the relentlessness of him just being right on top of UULU all the time has caused that, really. He's having to work very hard to keep LIJESEVIC off him. It's not like he hasn't had success in this round, because he has, but I think he's losing this round, and with the point off and having lost the first, this is looking very much like LIJESEVIC's fight. He brings a lot of pressure, kind of marauding pressure, LIJESEVIC. It's going to be difficult to withstand. You need good technique, you need good composure, and you need some snap. So 2017's all around due to those 2 10-9 wins and the point deduction. So LIJESEVIC is cruising here. The winner of this fight goes through to face Nikita Nystedt of Finland, who got a bye in the first preliminary round.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
It's round 3. LIJESEVIC, the European youth champion from Montenegro, in the blue. And Bakyt TOKTOSUN UULU of Kyrgyzstan in the red. And it's LIJESEVIC who's got a comfortable lead. 3 points on all 5 cards going into the final round. He won't let up, though. He'll keep doing what he does, which is come forward and just get punches off wherever he can, really. You wouldn't say he favours either the outside or the inside. If he's not careful, UULU, he's going to lose another point for holding here. He's just been... He's been outmanned here, would be one way you could describe it. Physically, LIJESEVIC is just a lot stronger. Good, stiff, strong right hand, that from LIJESEVIC. And UULU is holding on there. UULU is definitely holding on there. He's holding on for dear life there, and he'll be lucky not to get another point taken. Well, if he does that again, I'm sure the referee will take another one. UULU, though, sneaks through a straight left hand there. Good right hand there from LIJESEVIC, who's got stronger and stronger as the fight has gone on. It's interesting watching him because he looks kind of basic in the way that he goes about things, but he does land a lot. Well, UULU just tapping LIJESEVIC unnecessarily there, and LIJESEVIC let him have one back. Not sure I'd be pulling the tiger's tail at this stage if I was UULU, to be honest. Left hand there from UULU, just caught LIJESEVIC completely off balance and dumped him down in the blue corner. No knockdown, signaled by the referee. Final few seconds, and this has been another round for LIJESEVIC, so he's going to get this fight by a wide margin. UULU has never given up on this. He's put absolutely everything into it, and particularly in that first round, he did do some good work. The first round was close. I thought so. It went LIJESEVIC's way. Rounds 2 and 3 were not close, and there was the point off as well. So LIJESEVIC is going to go through here, and rightly so.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about number 139, the ring be win by points with a unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Petar Montenegro.
So through he goes, the European Youth Champion. Was fancy to come here and make an impact. He's got his first contest out of the way, which will be a relief to him, I'm sure. Alexander Kamadov giving that final round to UULU, which gives him a little bit of joy on the scorecards. That's the only round he's won. Only round of the 3 on any of the 5 judges' cards that has gone his way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the bout number 140 in the ring B, 81 kg men's. Please into red corner from Cuba, Brayan Leon Salgado.
Well, this is a fight that jumped off the page when you looked at the schedule. Brayan Leon Salgado of Cuba heading for the red corner.
And please to the blue corner from Kazakhstan, Yarasil Zakbekov.
And coming to the blue corner, representing Kazakhstan, Yarasil Zakbekov, Asian junior champion, Asian youth bronze medalist.
And the judges of this bout, Armenia, Russia, Israel, Jordan, and Ireland, and the referee from Latvia, Leonidas Anevich.
One goes to head guard for Salgado. The word is that both of these two are big punchers, so this could be a very Very interesting contest. Jakubov lost in the semi-finals of the Asian Youths to Shojahan Abdullayev of Uzbekistan, who is down in this half of the draw as well. We won't see him today because he's got a bye into the next round. So the referee issuing final instructions here, and this one very much to look forward to. Brian Leon Salgado of Cuba, he's in the red, and Yurasil Jakubov of Kazakhstan in the blue into the start of round one. Salgado in the orthodox stance, Jakubov in the southpaw stance. Salgado looking for a right to the body there, and he fits a hell of a lot into that 81-kilo frame, doesn't he, the Cuban? You look at the size of him there, the size of those arms, strong legs on him. Slightly more slender Jakubov. And the Cuban really targeting the body to start with. Just backing with that jab, looking to try and measure the distance there, Jakubov. That's what he's doing. Just seeing if he could get close enough, sent in the left hand. But again, that was kind of a more scouting punch, a reconnaissance mission, if you like. And Salgado, after those early flurries to the body, he's just taken a step onto the outside as well. Let go with a hook there, was well short with it. And Jakubov, as I say, is taking his time here, just trying to get that distance, trying to work out the best way in. Over a minute gone in round one, and Salgado is winning this round at the moment because of the work he did in the early stages. Jakubov is going to have to get something done in the second half of the round. Big right hand there from Salgado, didn't quite land. Jakubov lets his hands go a little bit more there. He's very composed. The Kazakh fighter, very composed indeed. Reaching for the right hand there, Salgado. Don't think it quite made it. Good left hand there, though, from Jakubov. Not a great deal on it. Left into the body as well. Looking for that big overhand right to the body there from Salgado was a good shot. That echoed around the hall. Left hand too. He's winning this opening round, the Cuban, by virtue of the greater work rate and punch output, basically. Jakubov, as I said, he's composed, he's studied, he's an intelligent fighter, clearly, but he's not doing enough. What he is doing is being relatively effective. A left hand there got through. Right to the body there from Salgado. Final few seconds of round one. Looking for the 1-2 there, Jakubov. I think it was taken mainly on the gloves. Chopping right hand there from Salgado. And then rips a right to the body. So the first round down. Cuban stays on his feet between rounds. I always wonder whether that's just a psychological ploy. And Salgado gets it. 10-9 with 4 of the judges. Sergei Krutasov of Russia has gone Jakupov's way, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that he gave that round away, but Salgado won it because, quite simply, because he threw more. I wouldn't say the percentage of punches, his punch completion percentage, if you like, was any higher than Jakupov's. It was probably lower, if anything, but he just worked harder, he threw more, he did more, and that's what won him the round. What Jakubov did do was, as I said, was fairly effective. He's got to pick it up and win the second round now.
Round 2.
So into the second, Salgado of Cuba, winning that first round with 4 out of 5 judges. He's in the red. Good left hand there from Jakubkov. Kazakh fighter in the blue. Right hand from Salgado, then a jab to the body. Jakubkov looking to try and punish with that left hand a bit more, and he is trying to get to work quicker in this second round. 30 seconds. They're looking for the right to the body again there, Salgado, and right to the head. Jakubkov just pecking with that jab again, trying to send in that left hand. He's getting caught though every now and again when he throws that 1-2, because he throws that 1-2 and then just stays exactly where he is. Salgado shut his space down there, threw the right to the body and got in a bit too close. Good combination there from Jakubkov. Salgado with that right to the body. He's taken those well, Jakubkov, because they've been big shots a lot of the time. Salgado maybe just feeling the pace a bit here, halfway through round 2. He is a big muscular kind of fighter. As I said, you look at that frame and there's a lot of lactic that'll build up there because, you know, a lot of the punches he throws are big effort punches. He puts plenty into all of them. Good left hand there though from him. Jakubkov is more economical, he's looser. And if he is feeling it, if he is feeling the pace, Salgado, then Jakubkov has got to try and press that home in the final minute of the round. He's got to win this round, the Kazakh. Right to the body there from Salgado. Referee just having a quick word about it being low. I couldn't see it. It was on the blind side of me. Left hand there from Salgado. And Jakubkov, as I've been saying, has done more in this round. Just not completely convinced it's enough. Salgado's work rate has dipped, I would say that certainly. Good right to the body though, there from the Cuban. Goes to the head with the right hand. Nice straight 1-2 there from Jakubkov. Now goes the bell at the end of the second round, and the scoring of that second round is going to be absolutely critical because Salgado was up with 4 judges at the end of round 1. I didn't feel he was as effective in round 2 as he was in the first, but he may well still have done enough. And for 3 of the judges, he has split scoring in round 2 there, so he's very much got his nose in front there, the Cuban. A 2-point advantage with 3 judges, level with another. And Jakubkov with the 2-point advantage himself with that remaining judge. So Jakubkov needs a huge final round here. He's got to get some 10-8s.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So into this third and final round, Salgado of Cuba in the red. He's got the lead, 2 points up with 3 of those 5 judges heading through 2 rounds. Jakubkov has really got to up it and win this last round big if he's to turn this one around, and he knows it. You can see that from the way he's come out at the start of the third. He's just been a little bit too circumspect so far. Didn't quite do enough in the first round, did more in the second, and now he's looking to really try and pour it on in this third and final round, but he needs it big. He needs it really big. As I was saying, he's got to get some 10-8s if he's to get himself back into the reckoning here. Exchange up close there. Salgado has looked for the body fairly effectively throughout the course of this fight. The Cuban in red boxing out of the orthodox stance. Nice pullback right hand there from him. Jakubkov in the blue. a southpaw. Left hand to the body there from Japakov. Salgado just boxing well off the ropes there. Japakov, again, just pecks with that jab. And the corner just telling him that he needs to just up it. He needs to work harder, needs to do a bit more right into the solar plexus there from Salgado. So heading into the final minute of round 3, and as it stands, Salgado is going to go through here because Japakov has not been able to find the volume of artillery in round 3 that he needed. And I think when he looks back at this, he'll have some regrets here, Japakov, because in that first round, he took too long to get going. Salgado just covering a little bit on the ropes there. I think maybe one of those left hands just got to him a little bit, possibly. And Japakov is finishing strong here. It's not going to be quite enough. Salgado retreating to the ropes. I think he's struggling with the pace a little bit now. Maybe just a little bit hurt by a body shot and throwing that right hand back off the ropes. Japakov is having some real joy here towards the end of round 3. Will be enough, I think, probably to take this round, but it's not going to be enough overall. Good left hand there from Japakov, and Salgado just holding on a bit as we get towards the end there. The bell goes, and it was a good fight. We knew that it was going to be a good fight. A curious kind of fight to watch in a way, because, as I said, Jakubov, he's not going to get this because he didn't win that round big enough to score 10-8. It's not for me anyway. And I think that slow start in round 1, I think it cost him, but he really did have a look for the first minute and a half, and that superior work rate in the first round just got Salgado ahead.
About number 114, win on points by split decision. From the red corner, Brayan Salgado, Cuba.
Well, Salgado gets it on points. And we knew that he would, because he was 2-0 up going into that final round on 3 of the judges' scorecards. We'll just go to look at the final analysis there. And Jakubov did get it with 4 out of the 5 judges. He won that final round, but he needed 10-8s, and they just were not forthcoming. It was an interesting fight, as I said, all the way through. He started quite slow. Salgado started quick. You have to give him credit, of course. But Jakubov just took a bit too long to get into the fight. It was always going to be fine margins between 2 competitors like this. It proved to be so, but it's Salgado who goes through.
Ladies and gentlemen, bout number 128 in the ring A, men's light heavy, 81 kg. Into the first preliminary, please welcome boxer from Croatia, Domenico.
towards the end of that final round there, Japakov was having real joy, but it was just too big an ask for him going into that final round.
Ukraine, 2 Italy, 3 Kyrgyzstan, 4 Malaysia, 5 Czech Republic. Referee India.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we start the bout number 141. In the ring B, 81 kilograms men's, please into the red corner from Germany, Delil DADAEV.
So still in the light heavyweight division, we've got Delil DADAEV of Germany. It's a strong division, this, and he's another one who comes into this with people reckoning.
And his opponent, please, into the corner from Colombia, Sebastian Moreno.
Reckoning that DADAEV could do something. And up against him from Colombia will be Sebastian David Moreno.
And the judges of this bout: Mongolia, Uzbekistan, Slovakia, Targaemi, Guatemala, and the referee from Ireland, Davi Sari.
No te quedes a cambiar puncal. Y cada vez que salgas que entres con tu guardia arriba y salgas con tu guardia arriba. No salgas con la mano abajo de tanta maldita sea. Sí.
So in the red corner there, Delil DADAEV of Germany. In the blue corner, Sebastian David Moreno of Colombia. Two orthodox fighters here. Similar kind of stature as well, physically. They're built along similar lines. Good jab there from DADAEV. Both looking to start quick. Right hand followed by left hook there from Moreno. Got countered, and you can see him nod his head almost approvingly of that piece of work from DADAEV. 3-4 punch combination there from Moreno, but most of it landed on gloves. Short left hand on the inside to the head and then down to the body. Good left to the body again there from DADAEV. That's what he's looking for. 3-4 times now. Didn't quite land that last one. Nice right hand too, arcing right hand, shallow kind of punch over the top, which just caught Moreno. There's been some quality work from DADAEV here actually in the early stages. A minute into the round. There's another good right hand counter. There's that left to the body. And he covers up well as Moreno looks to try and come back. Very cheeky right hand lead there from DADAEV. Almost off his feet as he just hopped up and threw that. Stumble. It was a right hand that hit the body, but it's not a knockdown midway through round one. Moreno's thrown plenty. The problem he's got is that DADAEV has tucked up well. And it's DADAEV of the two who's managed to find the gaps. That was better from Moreno. Did land a couple to the rib cage there. Good jab there from Dadaev. Catches Moreno again as he comes forward with that jab high to the forehead, just sets him off balance, makes him take a step back and reset. And that's the beauty of a good jab. It can be a weapon, but as well as that, it just disrupts your opponent. Final few seconds of round one. Good right hand there, and a right hand to the body too from Dadaev. He's got that kind of strong, muscular look about him, but he's actually quite loose as a fighter, the way he lets his hands go. Ten nines across the board for Dadaev. That was clearly his round. Just making Moreno miss there and then making him pay. There's that left to the body. He's found that quite a bit. That's some decent body punching from Moreno.
Seconds out, please.
It's a good fight, this, a good contest. They approach it in similar ways, these two. And in that first round, Dadaev just showed himself to be a bit better than Moreno. It's as simple as that, really. It often is. Right hand into the stomach there from Moreno, who started very, very quick in round two. Really looking to try and put it on Dadaev, who tucks up well, keeps that head on the move, pushes Moreno back to the corner. That was some serious heat that the Colombian brought out of his corner at the beginning of the round there. Just wonder if he's beginning to pay for it a bit now. Back to the ropes. Looks to ditch in a right hand. Short with the right hand there, Dadaev. Nice jab from the German. He's in the red. Moreno of Colombia's in the blue. This is light heavyweight. Moreno's just slowed down. He went flying out of the traps in the first 30 seconds. It was impossible that he would be able to sustain that, hoping to just put a dent in Dadaev early. It didn't really happen. Left to the body, then looks for the uppercut, but he managed to just squeeze the elbows on it, Moreno. And you see that mouth is hanging open a bit for the Colombian. I don't know about the wisdom of starting the round in the manner that he did, because after that first 30 seconds, he spent the last minute recovering, really. A couple of good right hands in there from Dadaev. As I said, he's just got that ability to find the gaps, little movements, tiny adjustments. Left to the body there from Dadaev. Moreno is throwing when he can, but he's been put into a shell a little bit. Not back towards the ropes, and Dadaev just steps to him, looks for the uppercut. Left hand was good there from Dadaev. The gloves just dropped there, and Moreno, a bit of blood coming from the mouth. He's absolutely knackered, the Colombian. You can see it, and you do have to question the wisdom of coming out the way he did at the start of the second round. Easy for me to say, but he decided that he was going to give it a real crack at the start of the round and see if he could make some inroads. Standing count there given by the referee, but it's come at a cost, because since that 30 seconds, really, it just seemed to take everything out of him as he plonks himself down on the stool there, and he's lost that second round, so he's staring at defeat in the face here. But you cannot you cannot criticise his ambition, Moreno, because he's that kind of move, the one he made at the start of the second round, that is born of pure ambition to win. A couple of 10-8s there in favour of DADAEV, who was pretty dominant in that round. And he's on his way through. And whoever wins this one will be up against Bakyt of India. Salgado, by the way, having got through against Jakubov, will be up against Valeriia Razmarita of Moldova in the next round.
Third round.
So third and final round. Delil DADAEV of Germany in the red is in control of this one. Sebastian David Moreno of Colombia in the blue. Gave a pretty good account of himself in the first round. In the second round, he went hell for leather in the first 30 seconds. And gassed a bit after that, was really kind of hanging in there towards the end of the round. Referee just telling DADAEV off for pushing off with the forearms. Good body punching again there from DADAEV. Left hand gets through the guard. He brings good pressure, educated pressure. By no means is he a fighter who just rolls forward. He's got plenty in his arsenal, plenty in his locker. And when he gets up close, and that's where he does his best work, he's just very, very good at finding those just little angles, just to sneak a punch in around the back of the elbow. Just to slot one in, just off the angle maybe with the uppercut. Skillful stuff. Into the final minute of round 3. And both of these two, I think, are just going through the motions a bit in the closing stages of round 3. Moreno is dog-tired in there, and I think we'll be very pleased to hear the final bell, but there's absolutely no way that there's any quit in him. Right hand there from DADAEV, moves on to the shoulder. I think he's maybe feeling the pace of this slightly too, because it's been lively. First couple of rounds particularly. Well, there goes the bell, and it will be the German fighter in the red there, Delil DADAEV, who will go through by a clear margin. But Moreno of Colombia, he played his part early in the fight. Came out sprinting at the start of round 2, and that just seemed to empty the tank a bit. Since then, it's been a bit of a struggle for him, really, to stay in it. But stay in it he did. Was always throwing something. But he ran into a good fighter today, Delil DADAEV. I'd heard that he was a promising prospect, and that's proved to be the case.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 141, win by points with a unanimous decision. From the red corner, Delil DADAEV, Germany.
So it gets it across the board, and there are some 10-8s in there as well. One 10-8 from 3 judges, a couple of 10-8s from the Slovakian judge. comfortable for DADAEV. As I said, he'll now go through to box Bakyt of India in the last 16. That was a frustrating thing for Moreno. You saw that passage of action there. When Moreno was punching, DADAEV had tucked up really, really well. Very difficult to find any gaps. And then when Moreno finished punching and DADAEV started punching, then he was able to find a few gaps. And that's really what separated them. Simple as that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start about number 142 in the ring B, men's 81 kilograms. Please into the red corner from Czech Republic, HAFIJAK.
So another fight here at light heavyweight. HAFIJAK of the Czech Republic will box out of the red corner.
And please double corner his opponent from Belarus, Andrei Masalau.
And from Belarus, we've got Andrei Masalau. Whoever wins this one will fight Shokjahan Abdullayev of Uzbekistan, who's got a bye. Abdullayev, a very, very good fighter, Asian youth champion.
And the judges of this bout, Uzbekistan, Korea, Azerbaijan, Sri Lanka, and Bulgaria, and the referee from Slovakia, Mr. Radoslav Simon. Round one.
So in the red, HAFIJAK of the Czech Republic, in the blue, Masalau of Belarus. Two orthodox fighters here. In terms of their physiques, they're almost mirror images of each other, really. Slightly rangier, I would say, Masalau. When you look at the shoulders, just a little bit of a height advantage for him there. HAFIJAK with a decent one, too. Dabbing in with a jab there, trying to catch Masalau in range as he was throwing. Nice uppercut on the inside there, though, from Masalau. Masalau looking to try and make the early running here. HAFIJAK came back with a decent left hand, but he was under pressure on the ropes there. HAFIJAK doing some good work there, but he's having to work very, very hard to keep Masalau off him. Good right hand there from Masalau as he closes in, tries to just back HAFIJAK up to the ropes, and he did well, actually, to move off to his left and get away, because that's not where he wants to be. Nice uppercut on the inside there, though, from HAFIJAK into the last minute of round one. And in terms of what's actually happened here, Masalau has been on the front foot. He's looked aggressive. He's thrown plenty. And he's looked like he's kind of controlling the fight in terms of the fact that he is dictating and he is the one being proactive. But in terms of the cleaner punches landed, I don't think it's necessarily translated to that. HAFIJAK has landed a decent amount. But he just looks like he's being bullied a bit, the Czech Republic fighter. That's what it looks like. There we go again, 2-3 punches thrown there by HAFIJAK, and a couple got through. Definite scoring punches. It wasn't an egregious amount of power on them, but that's what the judges are looking for. Punches that land to the front of the head or the torso, delivered with the knuckle part of the glove. There goes the bell at the end of the round, and I'll be really interested to see how that one gets scored, because, as I say, the aesthetic of it, if you like, was that Masalau was in charge, that he was bossing that, he was coming forward. And he gets it. He gets it 10-9s across the board, and that'll be why he got it. And I'm not saying he didn't land, because he did. But HAFIJAK in that round, boxing off the back foot, maybe looking a bit ragged at times, he landed plenty.
Seconds out, please.
The replays there just kind of show us
Round two.
that that was tight. It was a good sample we got given there. I'm not outraged by Masalau getting the verdict with the judges on that first round, but with boxing quite often, how it looks plays a significant part. And what you've got is a front foot fighter who looks like he's right on top of his opponent at all times. But if you're looking closely for what lands, which is what you have to do, then it's not as clear cut. Not in the first round anyway. First 30 seconds of round two. And Masalau, again, has just come out nice and strong.
No slapping, no slapping.
Referee just having a word with Masalau about punching, or rather making contact with the inside of the glove there. Slapping, I guess you would describe it as. Decent bit of work off the ropes there from HAFIJAK. Long right hand from Masalau. Just clipped HAFIJAK, and again, and I think a third one might have got through too. There's a bit of blood coming from the end of the nose there of Masalau, I think, as I just peer across the ring there. Good right hand there from Masalau. That's a good strong right again there too, and he's just beginning to find HAFIJAK at the range that he wants him. HAFIJAK, he's one of those fighters who he kind of started to look tired after about 30 seconds, but I think that's just the way he looks. I think that's just the demeanor he has in the ring. But again, that just adds to the, as I said, to the kind of overall picture of the fight. He looks like he might be about to come apart almost at any second. I'd imagine that he looks like this in the gym. He looks like this in fights. This is just how he looks, but it's not a very good look in any sport where you've got judges. Strong left hand there from Masalau. HAFIJAK was just dipping at the waist there, waiting for the referee to step in and get involved. Good right hand from Masalau. Masalau very much in control of that second round.
Андрей, да не надо, блядь, тебя драться. Ты же столько пропускаешь лишних ударов. Зачем? Ты же хорошо с дистанции. Пробил. Чуть назад, дал ему промахнуться. И опять атак.
Well, split scoring. 2 10-9s there for Masalau, 3 10-9s for HAFIJAK. In terms of the scoring of the rounds, this is just my personal opinion, I would have had it the other way around. I thought the first round was close, split scoring in the first round. I thought that second round, Masalau won quite clearly. So the scores after 2 rounds, I don't have any issue with. I just would have got there via a different route.
Third round.
So Masalau in the driving seat, getting that shoelace tied. There's that right hand. Masalau's landed that a good few times. Left hand on the inside from HAFIJAK. It's been another good fight, this. Entertaining fight to watch. Light heavyweights have delivered this afternoon. VINCIGUERRA and ALLAHVERDIYEV in our first fight at 81 kilos really set the tone. That was absolutely amazing. Right hand there from Masalau. Decent 1-2. Nice left hand on the inside there, though, from HAFIJAK. Just trading on the inside. Masalau was trying to pin HAFIJAK back on the ropes there. HAFIJAK, though, just as he has done all the way through the fight, just found something to get his way out. And the best has come loose there. Right hand there from Masalau. And again, they're just stepping in and once more trying to just push him back towards the neutral corner here, right above me. Cheeky little left on the inside from HAFIJAK. Minute remaining here. Masalau of Belarus in the blue, HAFIJAK of Czech Republic in the red. Masalau with an advantage going into this final round, a couple of points up on a couple of scorecards. Nice left hand there from HAFIJAK. I think almost all the way through this fight, Masalau would have felt that he was just about to get HAFIJAK under control, and he's never quite managed it because HAFIJAK, as I say, he's got that kind of look about him and has done since about the first 30 seconds where he looks a bit jaded, he looks a little bit too loose, a bit ragged, like things might all just start to come apart at the seams almost at any second, but he holds it together, and he's always got something to say. He had a say in every single argument there. Not infrequently, he had the final say.
Сейчас вот избран, что будет. При мне я тебе, в ответ полетело все, блядь.
As I mentioned, the winner here will go through to take on Jakon Abdulyev of Uzbekistan.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 142, win by points with split decision from the blue corner, Andrei Masalau, Belarus.
And Masalau gets it. He had a healthy lead on the number of cards going into that final round, and he gets it 4-1. 2 rounds to 1 with 3 judges there, I think. 3 rounds to 0 with another, and 2 rounds to 1 in favour of HAFIJAK with the other judge. And it was a close fight. It was a close fight. Masalau, in terms of the body language, in terms of the dynamic, he kind of looked more like the boss. And in a tight fight, that is often the difference. It sounds a bit basic the way I've described it there, but what judges are looking for is they're looking for clean punching. That's what they're looking for. That's the #1 criteria. That's the same in AIBA boxing and in professional boxing. If you can't separate them on that, then you go to technical and tactical expertise. Technical and tactical are the 2 words that you'll find in the AIBA handbook. And that's basically ring generalship. That's what that means. So if you're the one who looks like you're in charge, you're the one who spends most of the time on the front foot, you look like you're dictating the pace of things, then that counts in your favour. And that's what's happened there, I think, for Masalau.
Men's super heavyweight, please into the red corner from Bulgaria, Zlatin Ilhayev.
So now the big boys into the super heavyweights. And first up, we've got Zlatin Ilchev of Bulgaria coming into the red corner.
And please into the blue corner from Russia, Ivan Onyshenko.
And following him in, a highly rated Russian, Ivan Onyshenko.
And the judges of bout number 143, Armenia, Jordan, Latvia, Guatemala, Israel, and the referee from Korea, Mr. Kim Yong-in.
So that's Ilchev, this 91 plus. The super heavyweight division. Looking at Onyshenko over the ring, over the other side of the ring there, by the blue corner. He reminds you a bit of a recent Russian super heavyweight that we've seen, Maxim Babanin. Similar sort of build. There's plenty of spare on Onyshenko, but if you're fit enough to fight, then you don't have to make a weight, so you could argue that it doesn't really matter. It always mystifies me slightly when I see elite athletes, and that's what these youngsters, and they are youngsters, but that's what they are. It always mystifies me slightly when I see them carrying that much spare weight. We will see. Good old-fashioned stare-off there between Bulgaria and Russia. So Zlatan Ilchev of Bulgaria in red, Ivan Onyshenko of Russia in blue.
Round 1.
So 2 orthodox fighters here. Ilchev red, Onyshenko blue. Onyshenko just looking to try and move in behind the jab there. Jab to the body, trying to set up the right hand. Ilchev just jumping forward there, really. Led off with the right hand, didn't reach, followed it with the left. Nice short right hand from Onischenko. He's got a fairly significant height advantage here, Ilchev, but we're yet to see him really throw a jab and try and stop Onischenko on his tracks as he comes forward. Right hand lead there from Onischenko, then whips up the kind of left uppercut almost. Turns southpaw here, Onischenko, as he looks to trap Ilchev in the neutral corner right above me. Ilchev just kind of stays on the borderline of range, slightly out of range, and then looks to leap in. Jab there, but that was the first time we've really seen it. Coming together on the inside, slightly messy at times due to the two styles, or rather due to Ilchev's style, really. Both just trading shots on the inside there. Ilchev, balance just deserted him as he came forward looking to throw that right hand. His weight comes right over the top of that front foot, and he just goes barreling towards his opponent. Onischenko, I think, may well be able to take advantage of that. Nice and balanced, Onischenko. Doesn't really waste anything. Economy of movement, nice small steps. Just looks to get into distance and then throw those short, sharp punches. Doesn't really wind up with anything. Looking for the big overhand right there, Ilchev, followed by a wide left hand. Onischenko doesn't have too much trouble seeing what Ilchev has got to offer coming. Bell goes at the end of the first.
Дыши. Все нормально. Через живот надо, через живот. Справа бьешь, попадаешь, чувствуешь, да? Вот, голова, живот, голова.
Onischenko's round. Easy one to score for our judges at ringside.
Давай, смотри. Налево можно уклон. Вот. Левой, так. Уклон влево и лево туда по животу. Голову раз, два, уклонился и по печени. Понял? Все. Глотнешь?
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
Into the second round of this fight at super heavyweights, representing Bulgaria in the red there. We've got Zlatin Ilchev, and in the blue, boxing for Russia, Ivan Onischenko. Onischenko taking the first round with all 5 of our ringside judges. And once again, the Russian taking the center of the ring. Ilchev skirting around the edges of it. Looking for a left to the body there, Onischenko. I think Ilchev did manage to half block it. Good stiff jab there from Onischenko, then landed a left to the body. He's just holding on there, Ilchev. He needs to be slightly careful. The referees are pretty hot on that. That's a better jab from Ilchev. You barely see him throw a jab, and against a fighter like Onischenko, who is shorter, who needs to get in close, being able to stick out a jab that can just at least give him something to think about as he comes forward would be very handy. But It's just not really the way he fights Ilchev. Let's go, a big windmilling right hand. Balance again, just coming forward. Onischenko has seen that a few times already. If he could just take a little step back when that happens and catch him maybe with an uppercut on the way in, then that could be big trouble for Ilchev. Good left hand to the body there from Onischenko. You could hear that one thud home. And the second round has been very similar to the first. Onischenko with that front foot pressure, just dictating terms. He's not been completely dictated to here, Ilchev, but it's just difficult for him to really land anything clean. Flicked up the jab there, that got through from the Bulgarian. Onischenko doesn't go crazy, throwing bundles of punches and chasing you around, but he cuts off the ring pretty well, and what he does throw hits something. Not everything has got through completely clean, but he'll hit a shoulder, forearm, gloves. As I said, he doesn't really waste anything.
Немножко раз и на себя. Так. Крути, влево или вправо, понял? Просто вытащи его на себя. Понял? Ну так все нормально.
Some split scoring there, but Onischenko still very much in control. He's got a 2-point lead with 3 of those judges heading into round 3. The other 2, it is level. So Ilchev needs something significant in this final round. He needs 10-8. He needs 10-8 to give himself a chance here.
Third round.
Or rather a 10-8 with one of those 3 that have got Onischenko 2 points up. He needs to win those 2 level cards and turn one of those 3 around, which will necessitate a 10-8, and then that judge, when asked for their opinion who has won the fight, because they would have scored it even, he'll need them to go his way. So that's the scale of the task. Onischenko in the southpaw stance, right to the body there from Ilchev. Looking for the left hand there, Onischenko. It's not been fought at a frantic tempo, this, but it's been steady enough, and I did at the start of the fight question Onischenko's weight, but he does seem to be one of those fighters who, although he's carrying some spare, you can't question his fitness to fight because he's not wilted at any point. It doesn't seem to be an issue. He adds that little bit more weight to his punches. He's not the tallest, so I don't know whether if he really wanted to or really tried to, if he would be able to get down to 91 kilos, but it's clearly not an option that they've considered. left hand into the body there from Onischenko. I don't think Ilchev has got a lot left himself, actually, in this final round. So there goes the bell at the end of this 3-round bout, and Onischenko had a 2-point lead on 3 of the cards going into that final round, so he's going to get this. There's no way that Ilchev has managed to win that round. 10-8, not in anybody's estimation. It's an Onischenko round, I would say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by points with the unanimous decision from the blue corner, Ivan Onischenko, Russia.
So Onischenko gets it. 3-0 with 3 of the judges and 2-1 with the other 2. So all 5 would have given him that final round. And there we go, across the board. Split scoring in round 2 and a clean sweep for Onischenko in rounds 1 and 3. And he will face the winner of our next fight, which is between Levente Kiss of Hungary and Jugnu of India.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got about number 144, super heavyweight division, men's. In the ring being pleased into the red corner from Hungary, Levente Kiss.
Levente Kiss, boxing for Hungary, European junior champion. He'll be boxing out of the red corner.
And his opponent placed into the blue corner from India, No.
And into the blue corner for India,
Russia, Slovakia,
Jugnu.
Sri Lanka is SHINOHARA.
And this is the only division, of course, the super heavyweight division, where you can get a significant size difference between 2 fighters. And there is quite a difference here between Levente Kiss of Hungary in the red and Jugnu of India in the blue.
Round 1.
Touch of gloves. at the start of the round. Kiss, as I said, the European Junior champion. Looking for a big right hand there, Kiss. Wasn't that far away with it. Sneaky little right on the inside. Didn't seem to be room for it, but he manufactured it anyway. Just short with the jab there, both of them were. And Jugnu just losing his footing slightly. Double jab right hand from the Indian fighter. It's Kiss who's taking the center of the ring here. Jugnu's looking to try and work around him for the most part. Turn southpaw here, Jugnu, a minute into round one. Leaping in with a left hand there, Kiss, but didn't land it. Jugnu with a jab and then ends up on the shoulder. Very aggressive here at times, Kiss. Going looking for Jugnu, but he's not really landed anything. It's an interesting one to watch, actually, because Kiss, as I said, he's got the size advantage. He's a big, big unit, and he looks to throw hard, heavy shots. Right hand there, I thought was caught mainly on the gloves. Good jab there, though, from Kiss. Jugnu's the smaller man. There's a kind of looser look to him. Kiss looking for the jab, falling short again with the right hand. He's got good feet, Jugnu. Again, missing with the right hand there, Kiss. He's throwing it with plenty of intent. And again, the left hook is just short. That one half gets through. Jugnu backed up to the ropes. He's comfortable enough there. Good jab there from Kiss. Not that much has been landed clean by either one of these two, and given that fact, the fact that Kiss is relentlessly on the front foot and throwing more, again, similar to a fight we had earlier on, won by Masalau. That greater proactivity. Good left hand there again from Kiss as well. That greater proactivity and aggression from Kiss is going to win in this round. Towards the later stages, he has found Jugnu a bit. Also, left hand kind of half landed. Left hand to the chest did land. Good jab as well. His accuracy has improved bit by bit throughout the course of that opening round for Levente Kiss of Hungary. He's in the red on the right-hand side there. Over in the blue corner is Jugnu of India. Split scoring, 10-9s for Levente Kiss, 10-9s for Jugnu, 3 for Kiss, 2 for Jugnu. And I felt Kiss just did enough towards the end of the round there, landed a few towards the end to take the round. But as I was saying before that, really, it was very difficult to pick in terms of punches landed. I felt that Kiss at that point would probably get the nod because he was on the front foot more, he was throwing more.
Seconds out, please.
But Jugnu showed some good technique as well. So split scores at the end of round one.
Second round.
Some decent work from Jugnu, most of that though taken on the gloves by Kiss. Looking to really club with that right hand there, Levente Kiss. Can tend to look a bit tight when he really looks to load up and put maximum power into a punch. Leading off with a left hook, but Jugnu again had the gloves up where they needed to be. Nice right hand on the inside there from Kiss. decent jab. He's got a heavy jab when he chooses to throw it. Often Kiss leads off with a left hook either to the head or to the body, but when he just flows with that jab, it's a weapon. He's most effective when he just throws that jab, looks to put the right hand on the back of it. Just good old-fashioned 1-2. As I said, when he really looks to throw that right hand hard, he kind of muscles it in. And it's not as effective. Good left hand there from Jugnu, but a right hand came back from Kiss, and then a right hand from Jugnu. Just trading and centering, those two, just ditching in the right hands. Big right hand there from Kiss. It was triggered by a jab from Jugnu. Good round this. These two really just looking for the gaps, looking to attack at every available opportunity. I think just a little bit of, I'm not sure what that is actually, a bit of tape from somewhere. The final few seconds of the round, well, into the last minute rather. There's that right hand. That's the kind of right hand I'm talking about. He swings for the fences with that one, and it never really looks like landing. Left hand there, just tagged Jugnu as he was trying to pull out towards the ropes. Little jab on the inside there from Jugnu, right hand as well. Right hand to the body from Jugnu. I think he thought that might have been a little bit low because he just took a little bit of a walk away and seemed to look at the referee. Right hand over the top from Kiss and well avoided by Jugnu. Good round, that. He's got some skills, the Indian fighter. He's got good feet. He slips punches well. Kiss gets that one with 4 of the judges, so he's got a 2-point gap with those top 2 judges, and it's level with the other 3. And I think what's winning in this fight is what I mentioned in the first round. I think he's just fitter, to be honest, than Jugnu. He's more physical, he's bigger, and he's just able to work harder. And so he takes the initiative. Jugnu, as I said, he's got some smarts. Moves his feet well, just shuffling back there, staying out of range. That right hand misses by an absolute mile. Counters well with the right hand. But he's just under the cosh a bit because he's in with a much bigger man in Levente Kiss and a decent boxer as well. He's fundamentally pretty sound, the Hungarian. As I said, his problem is that when he really lets go, with that right hand in particular, it takes a lot of effort, but it doesn't often land. Jugnu's a good example of a fighter who, could he make heavyweight? Could he make 91 kilos? I don't know what he weighs, but there is some weight that could come off there. And if he could do heavyweight, he's a good mover. As I said, he's got good skills. And he's a decent puncher. That could work a lot better for him, but up at super heavyweight, at some point in any competition, he is going to run into somebody who is a lot bigger than him. And it's just little things as well. It's like when they get into a clinch, AIBA referees will break quite quickly most of the time, break fighters quite quickly, but when they get into a clinch or just have a little bit of a wrestle or the opponent walks you back to your ropes or leans on you, that greater physicality just takes it out of you. Bit of blood coming from the nose of Jugnu. Big overhand right, and he did land it that time. Got closer, got the feet closer, dipped the left shoulder and threw it. Breathing heavy, Jugnu, as he goes to the doctor on the far side. He's just going to tidy that up and have a look to see if he thinks it's broken. Just feeling the bridge of the nose there, feeling for the cartilage, thinks he's okay. Good right uppercut landed straight away there from Kiss. Jab to the chest. Puts Jugnu down. It was half that, half a balance issue. There's a bit of tape trailing from the right wrist there of Jugnu. The referee will probably notice that soon enough and get that sorted out. Just warning Kiss about the head. Good stiff jab there from Kiss, who's really looking for Jugnu. He has been the whole fight, to be honest. He's got that kind of languid look about him, Jugnu, that somebody like Kiss, who's big, strong, fit, would think that he should be able to find the gaps and take him out, but it's never quite happened. Bit of blood coming from the nose again there into the final minute. And that bit of tape does get trimmed off, and he's wanting the final bell now here, Jugnu. Just sets his feet there, though. And the referee saying to Kiss that he needs to keep his punches up. Uppercut on the inside, just clips the chin there of Jugnu. Jab from Jugnu, who's just got a few more seconds remaining in this fight. He's not going to win it. He's going to get knocked out here, eliminated rather, from the competition, but he's put plenty into this. It's a good watch. Kiss has won it. He'll go through to the next round where he'll be in with Onichenko. But as I said, Jugnu played a big part in that fight, but the size advantage that Kiss had, the physicality that he could bring, was difficult for him to cope with. As I said, he's got skills, he's a good boxer, but at super heavyweight, he is always going to be up against it.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of bout number 144 in the ring B, by points with split decision, from the red corner, Levente, Hungary.
Kiss gets it by split decision. 4-1. And it's Slovakia who must have given that final round to Jugnu. And indeed, so 10-9 for Jugnu in the final round gives that one card to him. 10-9s for Kiss from everybody else, makes it 2-1 for Mongolia and Russia, 3-0 for Jordan and Turkey. So he goes through to the next round, Levente Kiss, and he will meet, as I just said, Onichenko of Russia. That'll be an interesting fight. That will be an interesting fight.
Now we have the bout number 145 in the ring B, men's super heavyweight division. Please into the red corner from Kyrgyzstan, Erzan Tolkunbek Ulu.
As you just heard announced there, making his way to the red corner, boxing for Kyrgyzstan, TOKTOSUN UULU. It's the penultimate fight of the session.
And please his opponent into the blue corner from Turkey, Ahmet Senol.
And emerging through the archway, heading for the blue corner from Turkey, Ahmet Senol.
And the judges of this bout, Bulgaria, Korea, Poland, Guatemala, and Uzbekistan. And the referee from Russia, Mr. Sergei Protasov.
TOKTOSUN UULU of Kyrgyzstan boxing out of that red corner. Ahmet Senol of Turkey in the blue.
Round one.
So here we go into the start of the first round. They're scheduled for 3, of course. This in the super heavyweight division. Senol of Turkey there in the blue, just looking to try and maraud forward and launch that right hand. The referee telling them to try and keep their heads up. I think he might be fighting a bit of a losing battle with that. Certainly with Senol, because he does dip his head on the way in. He looks to get quite low. TOKTOSUN UULU looking for the jab. Senol just climbing onto the inside and trying to let his hands go. I don't think we're going to see a massive amount of jabbing from the man in blue. Leads off with a hook there, and again he does carry that head quite low. Throws that combination and then ends up on the shoulder of TOKTOSUN UULU. It's quite a difficult style to deal with. Ideally, you do really need a jab for it. Something to hit him with on the way in. As I keep saying over the course of the past few days, just to knock him off balance, make him reset and start again. Because if you can't stop him walking in on you, he won't necessarily land clean, but it'll just be very difficult to get any of your own work done. Or as he moves in, got to try and keep some kind of gap, take a step back and try and time him. There's a good left hand to the body there from Senol. That's a nice jab. I said we won't see him jab much, but the first time we do, he crunches one on the chin of TOKTOSUN UULU. Often he's looking for that kind of heavy sandbag of a right hand. There it is again. Really put some effort into that. The referee saying that it's coming around the back of the head. It kind of is a little bit at times. Senol trying to move that head and then pops out the jab. It actually looks like he's got a decent jab. There goes the bell, and for the first time really in that round, right at the end there, TOKTOSUN UULU just caught Senol as he was coming forward, and you saw him just stop in his tracks there. It wasn't that heavy a jab, but as he's coming forward, it kind of doubles the impact. It's like he's walked into a wall there. He's just bounced off. Senol 10-9 across the board, which is fair enough. But that's what TOKTOSUN UULU needs to do.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
Start of the second round, TOKTOSUN UULU of Kyrgyzstan in the red. Ahmed Senol of Turkey in the blue. Senol took that opening round with all 5 judges. And again, the start of the second, looking to get onto the front foot. That was a nice left hand to the body. You saw him just dip, twist to his left, and then come over the top with the right hand. He's a well-organised fighter, Senol. He knows what his strengths are. He knows what he wants to try and do. Step forward, then took a step out as TOKTOSUN UULU bought what I don't think actually was a feint. I think it was a genuine move, but it triggered a movement in TOKTOSUN UULU, who then tried to come forward himself, and Senol reacted to that. That's a good right hand. Found really good distance with that right hand. Threw it straighter. I think he might have more success if he does throw that right hand straighter. Most of the time so far, he's looked to put real effort onto a big swinging wide overhand right, which, as the referee indicated in the first round, there it goes there, is actually quite hard to land as a really legitimate scoring shot, but he's landed it there. He has landed it there. He walked right onto that. TOKTOSUN UULU dumped onto his back. That was a heavy knockdown. The referee just wipes off the gloves. 1:15 remaining in round 2, and just as I'd said, he hadn't had much joy with that particular punch, and he might be better off throwing it straight. He absolutely nailed him with it. And he's taking a point for holding here, the referee. And this is turning into a torrid round for TOKTOSUN UULU, and he's there for the taking now. I don't think he's really recovered. The referee would have had a good look at him, but he was wide open there as Senol caught him with a couple of punches. He's just waiting to set that right hand up again here, Senol. Up until that point, he managed to keep that left glove up. TOKTOSUN UULU, he managed to protect himself, but that time he didn't, and he was caught quite tall, quite square. And that was why he just flipped over and landed flat on his back. He's going to make it through the round by the look of it. Looking for that right hand again there, Senol, and TOKTOSUN UULU was not enjoying this. I just saw him give his corner a bit of a grimace. There goes the bell. Big round. Well, Senol, that knockdown won't necessarily mean that it would be a 10-8. I've been explaining that over the course of the last few days, but in the context of this round, I think it will be, because it was the kind of exclamation point on what was a dominant display during the course of the 3 minutes. And there you go, 10-8 for 4 judges, but not for Alexander Kamadov, and that's what I'm talking about. Just because he knocked him down, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be 10-8. Just managing to avoid the right hand there.
Seconds out, please.
I didn't quite have time on the replay to see the knockdown, but we know how it happened. It was It was pretty much a mirror image of the right hand that we did see land, but it was with more force and the balance was slightly less good for TOKTOSUN UULU, and that's why he ended up dumped heavily onto his back. He actually did well to get through the rest of that round, because in the 10 seconds after he got up, he got pinned with a couple of punches pretty much straight away, and they were solid too. And I wondered at that point whether the fight might be about to draw to a close, but it didn't prove to be the case. 30 seconds into round 3, Senol looking aggressive again here, catches him with that right hand. He wants the finish. And Senol's another example of a guy who's definitely carrying a bit more weight than he maybe could be. You see that belly just quivering over the top of that belt line at times, but he's fit enough to fight 3 rounds at a good pace. And that is not to be underestimated. Big right hand over the top again there. I would like to see him throw that right hand straight more. I know he made me look foolish when I just said that in the previous round and he threw it wide and scored the knockdown, but I do think he would have more success if he threw it straight. But he really loads up to get the power and throws it wide, and that kind of, it's kind of a hook, kind of an overhand right, a mixture between the two really. Kyrgyzstan corner just trying to keep him going, TOKTOSUN UULU. They know that this is hard for him. Left to the body, right up top. He's thrown that combination quite a few times. You see him just bobbing from side to side there, Senol, as he looks to move in. There's 2 reasons for that. One is to keep his head on the move and make him harder to find as he closes down that space, but he'll generally finish with a weave to his left and then throw that left hand to the body, and off the back of that, the right hand over the top. He just wants to get through here now, TOKTOSUN UULU. This fight has gone. It had gone a long time ago. Still pouring in those 1-2s there, Senol. There goes the belt. And it's a comfortable win there for the Turkish fighter in the blue there, Ahmet Senol. Good performance from him. There's that jab. He doesn't throw that much, but it's decent when he does. He gets some good power on it. And that's the bob and weave that I'm talking about. He doesn't always remember to do it, but when he does, it's quite effective.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, 5 points with unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Ahmet Senol Tarki.
So Senol gets it, as we knew that he would. There's plenty of 10-8s in there. There was a point off as well for holding. That was in that second round. He got knocked down, and then not long after that, they had a point taken. At that stage, it was all over. It was all over. And a 10-8 in that final round from the Polish judge, and 10-8 in there for everybody actually, apart from Alexander Kamadov. And Senor will face the winner of our next fight, which is a fantastic one to finish the session with. Jahongir Zokirov of Uzbekistan, who we saw knock out Marlon Hurtado of Colombia in the second round in the first preliminary stage. He's the Asian junior champion, or was, and also finished second in the national elites. That's the seniors in Uzbekistan, and that takes some doing. He's up against Amanat Sabeghali of Kazakhstan,
And now, ladies and
an
gentlemen,
Asian youth
about number
champion.
146 in the ring, where in the men's heavyweight division, this in the red corner from Uzbekistan, Jahongir Zakirov.
So here comes Zokirov. We had a look at him the other day against Hurtado. Hurtado put up a pretty good effort in that fight, I thought. He was completely outgunned.
And please to the blue corner, his opponent from Kazakhstan, Amanat Sabeghali.
And following him in, Amanat Sabeghali of Kazakhstan, and nobody needs to tell these two nations the weight of
The
expectation
judges of this bout,
on them when you take part in an
Jordan,
Uzbekistan.
Slovakia, Israel, and the referee from Turkey, Mr. Yasar Sinar.
Kazakhstan showdown in the squared circle. Those are our judges. Final fight of the afternoon session in Ring B. Taking a while to get that head guard fitted in a way that he's comfortable with. Very important that it is, not just for safety, for comfort for the fighter, because the last thing you need is some kind of distraction from an ill-fitting head guard. So a great way to finish this afternoon session in the super heavyweights. We've got Uzbekistan up against Kazakhstan. In the blue there of Uzbekistan, that's Jahongir Zokirov. And in the red, representing Kazakhstan, Amanat Sabeghali. Zokirov of Uzbekistan. Boxing out of the southpaw stand, Sabeghali. An orthodox fighter, early stages. A little bit of fencing with the jab there. Zokirov looks to go to the body. Decent right hand that from Sabeghali. Short with the jab there. Sabeghali's taking the centre of the ring for the most part, just about. Minute into round one. Left to the body, then a left up top from Zokirov. Another left to the body. Chopping down with the left hand. Zokirov just having a good little spell there, 20 seconds or so. Sabeghali climbs into a combination, taking on the gloves, and Zokirov manages to come back effectively. Decent left hand again there from Zakirov. He just picked his punches slightly better of the two. Looking for a right hand lead there, Sabeghali. Good jab there from Zakirov. That just crunched into the chin of the Kazakh as he came forward. Sabeghali's bringing plenty of pressure here. Looking to really get on top of Zakirov, use that front foot pressure. And maybe towards the end of the round, it's just beginning to show a touch. Zakirov just presenting a couple of gaps there. A little bit more of an opportunity for Sabeghali, but the left-hander Zakirov gets through, and the scoring punches, the majority of them in this round have come from the Uzbek. I don't think there can be any real doubt about that. Good 1-2 again there from Zakirov. Right hand was round the back of the head from Sabeghali. Bell goes at the end of the first. And Zakirov gets it 10-9 across the board. A touch of frustration, I think, in the corner there for Sabeghali. He was trying to get things going, but it just didn't quite happen for him. He was looking to make things happen, but that proactivity in the end kind of counted against him, because Zakirov was happy enough to let him try and make the running and just respond to what he was doing, and he responded well. Lefts to the body, the 1-2 worked nicely, a couple of decent jabs, kept it simple, didn't look to do anything expansive. Maybe Sabeghali was just a little bit over-eager there. It's a big occasion, this.
Round 2.
So into the start of the second round, Jahangir Zakirov of Uzbekistan has taken it 10-9 with all 5 judges in that first round. So plenty to do here for Amanat Sabeghali of Kazakhstan, the Asian youth champion. Zakirov in the past has been an Asian junior champion. And young though he is, finished second in the Uzbek Elite Championships, and that is some achievement. The #1 at super heavyweight for Uzbekistan is, of course, Bakyt Jalalov, who's turned pro, but early in his pro career won the Asian Championships, won the World Championships in 2019, has qualified for the Olympic Games. Good jab there from Sabeghali. He needs this second round now. That was a decent right hand from Sabeghali as well. He's just looser in this second round so far. I think he's just relaxed a bit. The opening round, he was maybe a bit tight, a bit tense. Really wanted to try and force the issue and put his stamp on the fight. Fairly even this through the first half of the second round. Zakirov, slightly tired look about him as he threw that left hand, wandered in behind it. These are big, big units, remember. It's a lot of weight to carry around. That's a decent combination. Right to the body, left upstairs there from Zakirov. Zakirov just keeps pumping those hands out. Good jab there from Zakirov. Final 30 seconds of the round. He's been busy in the second half of the round, Zakirov. He's just kept letting those hands go. Blood coming from the nose, though, of the Uzbek fighter. Just spraying over that ring canvas. A fair bit of it dripping down, actually, by the look of it. Left hand into the stomach there of Sabeghali, sucking the air in there, Zokirov. Right hand, but then a left hand, couple of left hands there from Zokirov. Scoring of that second round is going to be absolutely critical. Zokirov had a good finish to it. It was more even through the first half of the round than the opening round was, but he worked really, really hard towards the end there. Just kept working those hands, just kept throwing that 1-2. And it took it out of him there, you can see it. It was split scoring, and he's got it with 3 judges, Zokirov, so he's in control now still. 2 points clear with 3 judges, level on the other 2 cards, so there's a lot to do here for Sabeghali. He's got to convert those 2 draws into a win, and he's got to turn around one of those 2018s as well, which will not be an easy thing to do. But that shift that Zokirov put in towards the end there, that's proved to be important. I don't know how much he'll have left for this third and final round, but in this kind of fight, when you're up against your closest rivals, you can usually dig deep and find what you need to find.
Third round.
So into the start of the third here, and it's Jehongir Zokirov of Uzbekistan in the red, who has got his nose very much in front, leading by a couple of points on 3 cards. Amanat Sabeghali of Kazakhstan in the blue. Well, he's got to convert 2 drawn cards into wins for him and then try and turn one of those other ones around, which is going to be difficult to do. And the big Uzbek southpaw there in red, just pumping out that 1-2. That's what he did towards the conclusion of the second round, which I felt got his nose in front, got him 3 scores in his favour in round 2. Up until that point, it was pretty even, it was pretty level, and Sabeghali really needed that second round. Zokirov, though, does look fairly spent, some blood coming from the end of the nose. Again, just leaning in, looking for that 1-2. He does lean a long way in as he throws it, Zokirov. Sabeghali trying to get hold of him on the inside. He's just never really found a way past that kind of languid-looking southpaw jab left hand. Sabeghali's really struggled to get inside it. Zokirov has just thrown it again and again and again and again. And he turns around, he turns there, Zokirov, and he has a point taken away, and that's, well, it's a standing count, in fact. It's a standing count, which is better than having a point taken away. Originally, I saw the thumb there of the referee, and I thought it might have been a point for turning and showing his back. A point deduction would be damaging. Sabeghali, though, with the standing count, that doesn't necessarily mean that this will turn into a 10-8 for him, not by any stretch. You know the nature of AIBA scoring by now. I will continue to explain it over the next week or so, but I think you're with me on it. And Zokirov is absolutely dead on his feet. And Sabeghali's got to summon something up here, final 30 seconds, and just give it everything he's got, just put it on him as much as he possibly can. Zokirov he's struggling to stand up. Trying to move at the waist, trying to dip at the waist, and down he goes, just through absolute exhaustion more than anything else. That's a good combination right at the end there from Sabeghali. 10 seconds remaining. And Zokirov, as I said, he is out on his feet there, and he wanders back towards the red corner. And given that he had that lead, 2-point lead with 3 judges going into the final round, you'd imagine that he's done enough. Sabeghali needed to win that final round, and he needed a 10-8 with one of those judges who had it 20 points to 18 heading into the final round. He did get that standing count, and Zokirov towards the end was, well, he was spent. He was absolutely done.
Ladies and gentlemen, And the bout number 146 in the ring B, win on points by split decision. From the red corner, Yevgeny Zakirov, Uzbekistan.
Zakirov gets it by split decision. As I said, that final round was a struggle for him. Sabeghali scored the standing count, and Zakirov towards the end there, well, he was barely able to stand up. He was so exhausted, but he did enough in those first 2 rounds to get it. Sabeghali got it 10-9s with 4 of the judges in that final round, and that converted maybe a couple of those scores his way, but it just wasn't quite enough for him in the end. It was a great battle though between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, as we suspected it would be. And Zakirov just got enough in the tank in those first 2 rounds. The final round was a hell of a struggle for him, but he managed to see it through, and what a fantastic way to finish the afternoon session here in Kielce on day 4.